PHARMAC's the government agency that looks after the management and funding of medicines and medical devices that many New Zealanders use and need. At the moment, PHARMAC uses 9 decision criteria. Things are changing, PHARMAC's role is expanding, and we need to take account of what the public think about PHARMAC's decision making. So we ran a series of community forums to get the public's view directly. It was really great that so many people came along and contributed and were able to discuss these matters with us in person, because that provided us with a really good view of what people felt our decisions meant to them. So we wanted to be really thorough, and we created a prototype that we then went back out and tested with people and the public. And as a result of that, and as a result of the feedback that we got, we've now made the biggest change in PHARMAC's 21-year history as to how we go about making decisions. And to help ensure that these factors are really clear, we've developed a diagram which outlines the factors for consideration as it appears on our website. In the centre of the diagram is our statutory objective. This is the main thing that PHARMAC's trying to achieve. The factors ultimately guide us to achieve the best health outcomes for all New Zealanders. We've grouped the factors into 4 main dimensions of the circular diagram. And these are need, health benefits, costs and savings, and suitability. There are also 3 levels of impact that we take into account, and these are to the person, to family, whānau and wider society, and to the wider health sector. Let's take a closer look at each dimension. The first one is the need dimension. The health need dimension is about the disease or the illness. When we think about the impact of the disease or the illness that it has on the person, we think about how unwell they are compared with the average healthy New Zealander. We must also consider what funding options might already be available to treat that illness in question. In considering the impact on family, whānau and wider society, we will think about the impact the illness has on Māori and also on other population groups, including Pacific people facing health disparities. We'll also consider the need at the health system level, as reflected in government health priorities. The health benefit dimension. This dimension takes into account whether the medicine or medical device extends someone's life or improves the quality of their life. We also look at whether treating the individual can have benefits for the wider population. So an example of that would be with antibiotic resistance. If that's reduced, that's good for everybody. And vaccination, again, reduces the spread of diseases. The costs and savings dimension. This dimension will consider health-related costs and savings to the person and their family, whānau, and to wider society. The costs and savings to the health system cover both the pharmaceutical budget and the wider health system. And finally, the suitability dimension. The suitability dimension looks at features of a medicine or medical device. We may consider things like the size, shape and taste of a medicine, which may affect the health outcomes. This dimension is also where we would consider the suitability of medical devices. For example, where more sensitive medical gloves would be better suited to finer work. The factors are designed to make the things we take into account much clearer, and also to support our increasing and expanding role. So if you want some more information, then feel free to go to our website, and there's much more detail available there.